What's happening, everybody? I'm back. It's me, your resident supervillain, Mr. J. Washington, and I'm here with my Season 2, Episode 2 review of Marvel's Cloak and Dagger on Freeform. Now, if you have not seen the episode yet, you already know it's going to be spoilers, so bring your ass back after you watch it, all right? So we left on that cliffhanger from the first episode, where all of a sudden Tyrone and Tandy go in the back of that, in that area in the club. That's like a storage room or whatnot, and everybody's just dead as hell on the floor. But what we open up seeing is a guy on the ground making a voodoo symbol before he dies, right? I was like, yo, this is just a lot of cocaine somebody spreading out. They finna do it, because the episode's called White Lines, and I was like, well, here go these white lines they finna do. Didn't know it was cocaine though, but it turned out to be cocaine with making a voodoo symbol. So Tyrone and them go in, they figure out what they're gonna do. They call O'Reilly. O'Reilly's basically like, yo, you know, they basically like, yo, O'Reilly's like, y'all got to get out of here. If you don't leave, I'm going to arrest you myself. So the episode starts to follow Ty. And I had to bring that up because it does this dope thing of showing this episode through different perspectives. So Ty goes to Evita's aunt and asks him what the symbol was. She tells him how it's like a veve and, you know, to get like a lorn. I can't remember the name exactly. Please forgive me. And, you know, he can get these spirits to help guide him and watch over him. So when he does all that, he's talking to her. Evita walks in. Evita is pissed, right? And she like, yo, I ain't seen you in 8 months. What, you could have told me what's up. You know what I'm saying? You ain't say no, but you come see my aunt. You don't come see me. Which I understand as a black woman. Like, yo, man, what you want, bro? You come seeing my auntie. You ain't come see me. You don't supposed to be your girl. We down? Like, if my girl did that to me, I'd be kind of pissed myself. But it is what it is. So then Tyrone was like, yo, I can do some things, and it's kind of weird. I don't want to tell you. And she like, yo, would you just tell me? So he pulls in the alley and shows her his ability to teleport. Then Evita hit him with the best line ever. Like, oh, so you can do this shit and you couldn't come see me? I was like, you got a point. You do got a point. Like, you on bullshit, bro. But she runs off and leaves. And then while he's end up doing, Tyrone ends up going back to the church and doing the prayer. And he's got the veve, the same veve that he saw on the ground in the murder scene. Evita's aunt shows her, and he does the veve. And while he's trying to understand what is he supposed to do, how is he supposed to help justice, he's teleported into the back of an ambulance. And in the ambulance is Michaela, the girl from episode 1 who was in the group with Tandy. You know, the girl who was in a domestic abusive relationship. He sees Michaela strapped down in a bed with an ambulance, and he can't get her out. When he tries to get her out, one of the dudes in the front of the ambulance grabs a shotgun. Ty tries to hold on to Michaela to teleport them both. He can't do that shit yet. So then after that, he's back in the church. He don't know what's going on. We go back to the beginning again. We see the conversations happening. Same thing. We see Tyrone and Tandy leave again. And now you get the perspective from Tandy. You see her back in group. You know what I'm saying? You seeing her basically she tell Michaela off like, yo, why you staying here? Leave, go. Dude hits you, you go. That's not love, things like that. So then Michaela runs off and leaves. Tandy is pissed. She's walking out. And then she meets Andre Deshawn. And he, is it Deshawn? Deshane. And they're walking down the street, and he's telling her his story and everything. And then at one point, they're sitting there and they're talking, and Tandy starts freaking out, hallucinating, and she sees her father across the street. Now, her daddy dead as hell. He dead as shit. She sees her father, and Andre's like, yo, what's going on? You tweaking? Here's the thing about Tandy. Tandy's abilities are light, and she can absorb and even manipulate the light around her. So she starts freaking out so bad, a street light blows out, and the back, one of a dude's tail lights on his truck blow out. Now here's the problem, here's the thing I have. She ain't gonna pay for that shit. She broke a man's tail light, right? Homeboy ain't gonna know his tail light blown out. As far as he knew, both his tail lights worked. So now he gonna be driving down the street. NOPD gonna pull him over like, yo, man, you gotta bust a tail light. Now dude gotta be like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Then he gotta blame the cop like, you broke my shit. And the cop like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then that's a whole big situation with the law involved from a man with a truck when he's probably just trying to go to work, take care of his kids, you know what I'm saying? Do right by his girl. Man, it's all type of bullshit. But, we have all that happen. Then we go back to the beginning again. And this time we're seeing it now from O'Reilly's perspective. So O'Reilly, of course, told Ty and Tandy to bounce up out of there. She gets the recorder and she's shaking and shit. You know what I'm saying? She's shaking, she's tweaking. And so she makes a call to a hotline and like, y'all want to report a murder. And they're like, who are you? She's like, nobody. So she leave out. She go to a bar and she get piss-faced drunk, y'all. She out here drinking her soul away. Plus, she was doing shots before beer. And you know they say liquor before beer, you in the clear. Beer before liquor, you ain't never sicker. The problem is if you go to liquor first, I know I'm talking fast, but if you go to liquor first and then go to beer, you're supposed to stick to beer. You can't go back. So she's walking down the street letting all her guts up out of her, just upchucking. But at one point she upchucks, and then she's down there looking in a puddle of water in her reflection. The other her walks up. Now, if you know, like I told you in the previous episode, she becomes Mayhem. Well, Mayhem is dual personality, but not as much as a personality as we think, because we see her go. She go down to. She finds out information. She finds out dude who made the cocaine thing goes to his wife's crib, and she cuts a hole with her finger in $100,000 painting. And, you know, her homegirl was literally like, yo, I'm going to call the police and tell the captain. She was like, I don't give a shit. Which I'm like, you pretty much are a badass. But she finds out her husband, her old girl's husband, was it Brent Latour, owned a bunch of private ambulances. So she goes down to the shipping dock. She sees Tandy. They go in, basically, and they looking around. And then they see the dude in one of the ambulances who, you know what I'm saying, because I forgot earlier. Let me go back. Tandy sees Michaela in the hospital. She's fucked up. She finds out she's in the hospital, right? Tandy goes and tries to figure out what happens. First of all, they say she OD'd on heroin, and Tandy's like, that don't sound right. So Tandy sees in the hospital, closes the door, uses her ability to see through her eyes. She sees who basically one of the dudes who kidnapped her. And so she goes to the thing, the salvage yard with the ambulances herself. So when she get there, she see O'Reilly. They catch the dude that they see. The same dude Tyrone saw the shot at him. They get to chasing him down. He gets in the ambulance. Tandy, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, make a Sub-Zero ball full of light. You know what I'm saying? You remember the first Mortal Kombat when Sub-Zero was like, making a little ball out the stomach? She did the same shit. All right? She did the same thing. Flips the car over, tells Mayhem, well, not Mayhem, O'Reilly, as we know at this moment, tells her, yo, you go ahead and make sure this is good. I'm going to go ahead and, you know, so make sure ain't nobody else there. I'm going to go take him to the car. Dude started talking. He's like, yo, I don't know nothing. This is my only job. And then she tell him about the other. Then all of a sudden she convinced him to tell about the other girls they've been stealing. After that, this broad slits his throat with one damn finger. One finger. Now, what you don't catch is this version of O'Reilly has green fingernail polish. That's indicative of Mayhem. She'll have the green nails and stuff like that. Fast forward. Ty's at the crib. You know what I'm saying? Avita teaches him how to teleport with people now. He goes to the hospital. He sees Michaela. Now he's like, yo, I got to get out of here. He goes to O'Reilly's crib, knocking on her door. She can't open the door. He teleports in. O'Reilly on the floor tied up. And I know you're like, wait, Jay, you just said O'Reilly did all this shit. Now she on the floor tied up. What's going on? Well, O'Reilly gets untied by Ty, and she tells him like, yo, we got to go before she comes back. She knows everything. We're in trouble. Tyrone's like, who? She like me. So what we're finding out is that Mayhem isn't her as a split personality. It is an entirely different entity. So what he does is he takes O'Reilly, they teleport to Tandy, and Tandy like, yo, if you with her, who in the fuck is over? They go and they see Mayhem basically, and she like, well, I guess the cat's out the bag. Tyrone and Tandy looking like, this shit is weird. I don't think she found out anything is weird. Like, y'all got abilities. Y'all see crazy shit like this on the normal. You all the crazy shit. You make knives with light and you teleport to a cloud of black smoke and poofing and shit. But it leaves on an interesting cliffhanger. Now it's heating up, rolling already in the first 2 episodes. The season is going. It isn't like season 1 where we have to wait for more things to build. We're getting right into it in this season. And I want to know, how do you feel with that as well? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like, subscribe, click on the notification bell. Of course, if you're into this season, I want to hear your thoughts. If you're not into this season, I still want to hear your thoughts. All right, make sure you follow me on Twitter, Instagram at Mr. J Washington, MRJAY. You should really know how to spell Washington. Make sure you check out the Mad Titan podcast everywhere you get your podcast. Listen on, and join the Supervillain Squad on Patreon, patreon.com/Mr. J Washington. I will holler at you guys later. Take care. I'm out of here. Peace.